Why we have such a problem with Zoom.
Oh, there we go.
Here we are.
There we are.
I need to powder the back of my head.
Yeah, it's getting a little shiny. It's gonna glare there.
It's catching me.
I know. Blind you.
All right, we ready to go?
Okay.
Want to call the order at 7:02 PM for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. The roll call: Supervisor Bogey,
Here.
Clerk Stephanie here, Treasurer Joel,
Here.
Trustee Olga here, and Trustee Nick.
Here.
Anything we want to add to the agenda?
I don't think so.
I wanna bring up some of the new business about spreading that stone at the Rice Cemetery.
Yeah. So it'd be new business, right?
Yes, new business under number 9.
9?
Mhm.
More like 8.
Well, millage renewal is
Nice,
8.
keep going.
Keep going. Oh, under new. Yeah, that is new.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Anything else?
Make a motion to accept the agenda with the indicated changes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment on agenda items only. Lively bunch tonight. All right, approval of the previous minute. I don't see any errors in it.
Oh, we're about to change that on the whiteboard.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, let's start with disbursements here. So this is our first month with the cloud with BSNA, so bear with me here a little bit. Took me an hour and a half with BSNA today to do payroll, so it was, we did it, it's good. So payroll this month is a total of $9,987.72. Kind of about the same as normal. You will see 2 checks on here for Robert, the building inspector, just because I forgot to reimburse him on the same check. He went to a conference to renew his certificate, so we reimbursed that. And then you also see on here checks 170 and 171 are voided. We were having some printing issues, so BSNA was able to help me with that, but I just wanted to let everyone know that it jumps from 169 to 172 because of that. But everything is pretty much normal. And then our vendors for this month was $31,580.68. You'll see that there's a voided check for Milan Township Treasurer. So there's a little miscommunication on my part when property taxes were paid. So we had to pay it to the Monroe County Treasurer instead of Joel. So I mistakenly wrote it out to Milan Township Treasurer instead of Monroe County Treasurer, so that one's voided. Our DTE is on there. You'll see our insurance came out this month for the year, so that's an additional cost. Some engineer stuff came out. The down payment for the new sign that's going out front is on here. Our trash day is on here, and then our regular lawn maintenance is on here as well. So 31,580.68 for a total of 41,568.40.
So on the Stevens disposal,
Mhm.
don't we supposed to knock off $250?
I did not get that. He did not indicate that that's,
Yeah, we're knocking that off.
okay, well, they can reimburse, or I will just get it.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him and,
Oh, yeah.
okay, and we can get a little bit more in detail when we talk about trash day.
Yeah. Make a motion to accept the disbursements, vendors, and payroll.
Support.
All in favor? I got a roll call, sorry.
Yep, sorry, Supervisor Bogey,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes, Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
Yes.
and Trustee Nick.
Yeah.
Joel.
All right, general fund has 231,419. Your tax account has 25,048. Fire fund has 324,115. The road fund has 103,983. The ICS has 406,492, which is actually just part of the general fund, for a total of $1,091,059.93. All the CDs, we just renewed the one CD from Flagstar. 327. And actually, you made $7,000 on that last year, so it went up to 167,480. All your CDs come to 422,621. Old Farm account has 63,903.42. And for a combined total of $1,577,584.45.
And I just want to point out, so, our fire fund, it says we have 324,000 and some change. So I've been working with the fire department to get the correct bills that we owe. They just sent me in the last month and a half invoices from 2022 and pretty much all of 23 that haven't been paid because we just never received them. And I've been trying to get in touch with them to figure some things out because they sent me some that were unpaid, but they were actually paid based on our documentation. So I have not paid anything just based on, I have not received any communication back. Been in touch with the auditor, so that will be coming out next month. So you'll see about 124,000 coming out of that fund next month. But just know that that was for 2 bills in 22 and about 11 bills from last year. So I'm still trying to get them to be a little bit more diligent about getting our bills in the shared file
Right.
in an appropriate time frame.
And I gotta find out how we can start billing.
Yeah, that's,
Access on 23.
yeah,
Gotta
that's
figure that out.
a whole nother debacle.
I
So
don't want
I,
residents paying for some of his access on 23 is not our problem.
I make a motion to accept the fund balances.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Building report.
During April, there were 2 building permits issued, 2 electrical permits, 2 mechanical, and no plumbing inspections. And our inspector completed 2 building inspections. And he worked a total of 16 hours in the office. End of building report.
A mechanical report. I wonder who did that one on Milwaukee Road.
Somebody that was cold.
New furnace.
I make a motion to accept the building report.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Assessors report.
Hello, can you hear me?
Almost.
Yes, you can hear us? Or
Yep,
me?
you're
There
good.
you are.
I said us, okay. So for field work, I'm still reviewing sales for properties that sold April 1st, 23 through March 31st, 24. Other work, the millage reduction fraction for 2024 will be 1, so this means we will not have a Headley reduction rollback for the township millages this year. The 2024 township taxable value is 108,295,818. I prepared the L 4029 tax rate request for the township and submitted it to the clerk and the supervisor for signatures and approval by the board. I'm working on the new BSNA assessing cloud program and getting used to it. I rolled over the database to 2025 for assessing. I attended 4 hours of continuing education in Howell, Michigan regarding principal residence exemptions. I'm also working on continuing education course, state tax commission updates for 2024. And we are now required to have 20 hours of continuing education. And plus the 4 hours state tax commission update class, 8 hours in person and 8 hours online. Looking ahead, I'll balance with the treasurer for preparation and collection of the 24 summer tax roll on or about June 1st. That's it.
So Karen, for the 4029, I do
Yes.
have a copy here. It's highlighted that says for Marty. Is that the one you want me to sign? Or do you have
I gave Mark another copy. We can, if you just
Okay.
approve it, we can sign the original. We can get a different one if that says for Marty on it.
Okay,
But there's
sounds great.
another one. I think Mark has another one. I
Yes.
gave
Okay.
Marty and one from you guys to sign.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, yep, you're welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I make a motion to accept the assessor's report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance.
Ordinance, Mr. Dooley. Had a couple pole barn zoning issues to look at. Sent a letter out to Sherman Road for some blight. And then he sent another letter to Michael Hold, Milwaukee Road for blight, cars, junk cars, etc. to get them moved. And that's it for Mr. Dooley. The two that he, Wabash and Ridge are with the attorney.
Yeah.
So he said they're just working on it there with the attorney.
Okay. I make a motion to accept the ordinance report.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Fire department report. He's got a new reporting system too, and he ain't happy with it. So there are 8 calls. I think 2 are pretty much canceled. One was invalid, the other one, there's no incident found on arrival. So we really had 6 things for the entire township, which is way down on trending. I don't have last couple of months trending because I can't seem to find it, just let everybody know. But we were way down from where we were at. That's kind of a good thing. I do have a board meeting with them at the end of this month. Okay, so don't forget. I'll let you know.
Do they have their meetings quarterly or monthly?
Every other month.
Every other,
So
okay.
what's that, bi-monthly?
Yeah. Okay. I make a motion to accept the fire department report.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sheriff's Department report. We had 37 incidents last month, which is getting a little high. Normally, we're right around high 20s, low 30s. I'm kind of guessing probably because the weather cleared up between now and May, and that's probably why we've got a lot more incidents going on. Nothing really to be alarmed about. It's more accidents than anything else.
What's BOL?
I was just gonna ask that.
BOL and PDA, those are the 2 high ones, 5 apiece. I don't want a PDA.
They got a new reporting system too, and I gotta go through this.
Yeah, we might want to just ask. Sheriff
Like PDA's
Knapp.
property damage accident.
Oh, okay. We should probably just ask them if we can get a little bit of a list of the codes that they use and exactly what it is. The traffic, I mean, that's 4. I mean, I feel like that's a lot. So they must have been out here this past month and
Issuing
caught
tickets.
people, yeah.
Which they were. They said they were gonna start doing a little bit more, and then now that we got that Traffic, which I need to ask that too. I'd like to send that, the ordinance we came with the truck route.
The truck route, yeah,
I want to forward it on the sheriff's department so they got a copy of it.
I think that's a good idea.
So,
Yeah, just so that they're aware that, they can,
and then I want to give a copy to all the farmers in the area, so it's in your truck. So in case you have a problem, it's right here and it's highlighted, so they know they won't give you a ticket.
yeah, that's a good idea.
You like that idea?
Well, I know sheriff is afraid.
That's why I keep you guys protected. I mean,
Sheriff, so.
Yeah.
It's a little concerning.
I'll just give him a call. Troy,
Well, I keep you guys abreast of what's going on. too.
That's
I
fine.
think it's a good idea.
because I've got trucks that come in and deliver stuff to me too, so.
Yeah,
Which local delivery is not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just, it's the ones that are, which are we gonna talk about that now or later?
yeah, we can talk about it now. I mean, I've seen a definite decrease. I live right on South Platte and the truck traffic, I feel like has decreased immensely. And of
Not
course,
on Milwaukee. It's
not on
still
Milwaukee, it's still bad.
It's still on there.
So, I feel like a majority of the Platte Road stuff is from J-Tech and the industrial park, obviously, right? So, I know you had been in contact with somebody from J-Tech, and so I feel like the traffic has decreased a lot on Platte Road.
It's decreased a lot out here.
Yeah, and of course, I say that today, and I saw the most trucks I've seen today than in the last 5 weeks, so, but I think just letting everybody know, I think we were gonna see about letting Google and Waze
Yeah.
know that that's enforced now, so.
I'm gonna talk to Amanda about that, see if she knows a way to get onto them and get that, so it's on all the truckers, when they type in their little app. So know that this is not a route and they should be going on it.
I make a motion to accept the sheriff's department report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And we gotta open and close.
Yep.
She looked it up for the, BOL is be on the lookout, so it goes in effect when info needs to be included when probation holds no longer are in effect.
There you go. Getting
We
educated.
had 5 of those,
So a lot of people getting off probation.
Nice.
and an overdose too, and like, there's an overdose on that list. too.
Somewhere, yeah, somewhere in our township.
That's scary.
All right, now at this time, I'd like to open up the public hearing for the Dundee Azalea speed limit change. Time is, let's say 7:20. So what it is, everybody, there's a lot of people live on Dundee Azalea Road that wants a speed limit change from Ostrander to the cement plant. Pretty much as soon as you get on the road, it turns into 45 pretty quick. They want it down to decrease to 25. I don't have a problem because that road is actually really freaking narrow.
Mhm.
And it's getting rough. Lady brought in a petition of everybody who lives on that road and signed it. And I mean, that's not one or two, we're talking a lot of people. I actually signed her petition too, some kind of agreement with it. I don't have a problem with it. And actually Wholesome signed it too,
Mhm.
which is kind of rare.
We can change it here, you don't have to go to the county.
No, it's gotta go to the county. We have to bring it up here.
But
to
they
the
don't
public.
have to do a study.
I don't know. They told us that we need to do this first before we do anything else.
Do you know if they need a resolution, if we approve that or not? Do they need a resolution stating as
They
such
just
or
said it had to
just?
go to a meeting first, then they can take a look at it.
Okay, I'll just make sure it's documented well in the minutes.
Right.
What we do with it.
Which I don't have a problem with it. They want to knock it down to 25. A lot of people are parking in the church parking lot and walking all the way down the thing coming. I mean, it's not a bad walk, but I get it.
Right.
Any comments from anybody?
Any comments from the public?
We're just laughing at Pat on camera up there, he doesn't realize it's.
Just let's hope he doesn't go to the
Nice,
bathroom.
Pat.
That's what
Anybody from Zoom that would like to comment at all about the speed limit change?
Oh, God. Leave it to that guy.
Okay, I would say no comments.
So no comments from the public? Anything from the board? Anything to say about it?
I don't see an issue with it. I mean,
It's a narrow road. It's not really used, but the people who do, they fly down it.
sure.
So.
Yeah.
She's worried, this lady came in, she's worried about people getting hit, run over, bicycle problem.
That's fair.
What do you think, Olga?
No, I agree. it's a very narrow and a pretty rough road.
Yeah,
From south, you go rougher edge.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. Especially as soon as you get out of there, you make that little corner, it gets
That
bad.
first curve, that's.
Which is what, just before Okie, isn't it? Yeah. What do you think, Mr. Gatz?
I think it's a great idea, but, you know,
We got
realize
four
you
of
wanna
them.
make it 25, but that is gonna make the people go 25.
This is
correct.
true.
It's just a suggestion of signs.
Yes.
Just like a stop sign anymore.
So anybody, public concerns or comments, opinions?
Well, it's
Nothing?
it's 25 coming in from the south going north.
Yeah, I know.
25 coming in, because you're already in the azalea limit on
Right.
Strand Road anyways.
Yeah,
So basically, it should be 25 when you turn and make the turn on the.
And at the end, by Wholesome, it says no trucks to come that way anyway,
Right,
mhm.
so,
well, they're trying to get
what's that?
they're trying to get the gravel trucks not going down through there and jumping on Old Strand Road.
Right.
Correct. Which Wholesome put, they pretty much, they're
That's
watching
been
it too.
there, yes.
I'll give them that. They've been good neighbors about that. So if we have any comments, I'd like to move forward on it.
Well, we're not, that's in the old business. This is just a public hearing.
Oh. Oh, yeah, duh. So we just hold that,
We
and go to
just,
the next one?
and go to the next public hearing. So we have to close this one.
So let's close this one at 7:23. Public hearing is closed. On to the next public hearing. At this time, I'd like to open the public hearing for solar ordinance at 7:23 PM. You have any comments on our solar ordinance that we're gonna try to put into play? Public? No?
Change.
No, this is just everything that the planning commission has been working on.
Finally in place.
Yeah, well, it's not finally in place. It's
No, no,
finally
no,
to
but I mean,
us.
It's finally the way we want it. You want it or whoever.
It's however the
Planning
planning
commission.
commission has now brought it to us for approval or denial. So we have to open it to the public to, let you guys have a say in any of the changes.
How long will it take before it's in effect?
Well, depending on if we approve it or not tonight, I think we have to publish it. And it's 30 days from publication. Right, in that, Amanda, 30 days?
Okay, so
That one might be 15,
15?
because it's a
An amendment.
zoning ordinance.
Oh, okay. So 15 to 30 days, so we can, if it's approved tonight, we can get it into the paper for Tuesday, and then 15 to 30 days from there.
and all of you are in favor of the way it's presented?
Well, that's what we're gonna talk about, so this is what we're, letting you guys have a say on if you want anything changed, discussed, researched even further, and then in the old business, we'll discuss what our thoughts are and either approve it or deny it at that time. We want to hear from everybody to see if there's any talking points that we need to go over.
The solar ordinance. Jenna won't give you one.
I don't think so.
Yeah, watch Jenna. She's something else. Might be underneath that. It's underneath this. Should be. What pages and then it should be.
Right there.
There we go.
Thank you.
I can't remember, does the ordinance impose a sanction for a violation?
That's a good question.
I can't tell you how many times I've read that thing and now I can't.
Right.
remember.
Think they can get shut down. if they don't.
Complaint resolution.
Right, but there's no, is there any monetary?
Yeah, I think it's in the application with escrow account. That's on D. 17D. Looks like the application for special use for solar, and it's $100,000
That's just
That's just
the
the
escrow.
escrow account.
Right, that's just to have in case,
While we're.
I don't think there's any
That's not a
fines.
sanction for a
No.
violation.
No.
Okay, so in that case, the ordinance takes effect the day following the date of publication.
Okay.
Or the date that you specify in the ordinance, whichever.
Okay. But if it did have sanctions, it would be 15 days,
30.
30, okay.
Yeah, it makes me jumping on here is when you get to,
We can discuss what our thoughts are after public hearing.
yeah, that's true. That's a question.
Does anybody have any thoughts, concerns? Anybody on Zoom have thoughts, concerns before we move on?
Is this protection for the state coming in and telling us what we can and cannot do?
No, so the state, as of right now, is still, their 3-person committee still can trump anything that the townships are doing. Yes, hence the petitions that are going around, regarding local control, to, you know, try to get it onto the ballot for November. But currently now, the way it sits, once it goes into effect in January, I think it's called the MSP or something, the whatever committee that is.
Yeah, they haven't did anything with that at all.
Right.
Because they were on recess right after they approved it. So they haven't really did anything and they probably won't for a while.
Yeah.
They threw it together because 2 of the senators, the Democrats, won mayoral election. So they were leaving to be a mayor. One was Warren, the other one, I don't remember where it was, but. So when they.
Dearborn.
Was it Dearborn? Yeah, I think so. That sounds right. But what they did, they threw that in there because they had Democratic control. When those 2 left, they didn't. So they voted on it right away and they don't even have anything to vote on. All they had was, we're gonna put something in place.
And then they voted in the wrong one.
And when it got voted on, it was tied. And who gets the tie? Governor.
Lieutenant Governor.
Lieutenant Governor was the tie on it?
Have to be.
Or when they voted on it in Congress or the Senate hearing?
Because it was 50-50 or whatever.
I thought it was, they won by 2. Because there were, the Democrats there were more Democrats off than Republicans. And it was a partisan.
Yeah, I think they tied.
I thought they were by 2. Because we had, somebody was supposed to flip and they flipped the other way.
Reggie Miller.
Wasn't gonna say it. Nice.
All right.
Well, I mean, that's what I heard.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely, hit the nail on the head on that.
All right, last chance for public comment. We'll move on.
They close the public hearing solar at 7:30. The Dundee limit speed limit, okay, so the Dundee Azalea speed limit, which we talked about in the public hearing. You guys have any questions on it, concerns? I just know it goes from us and goes into Monroe County.
I mean, my only concern, and, you know, I think, just getting clarification on it is, you know, when they wanted to, increase or decrease the Cone Road, you know, Sheriff Goodenough said that there was gonna have to be a study and it could go potentially the opposite way,
Yeah,
right? It could have increased versus being decreased. So, that would be my only concern is if they do a study and, you know, it pops up to 55 instead of 45. I don't anticipate that happening, but I think it's just something to.
plus I think it's a little different. Every single resident on that road wants it dropped. It's not like,
I agree, but I mean, that doesn't mean that the road commission has to do that or MDOT or whoever's in charge of it. I think it's a good idea. I would just hate to get them into a situation where now the speed limit sign says 50 or 55 instead of 40 or 45.
honestly, I don't think you can drive it down there. It's a little hairy.
Oh, I'm sure some people would try. So I would just say, you know, making sure that there's not a study that's required.
So we all need to drive down every day at 25 miles an hour.
Agreed. 15 even.
Anything, Olga, on that?
No.
They got pictures. I don't know if you got those up there or not. That gives you an idea what's going on for people who don't know where the road's at. Any questions, Mr. Joel?
Nope, I'm all for 25.
Mr. Nick?
I'm all for it.
So I make a motion to accept the speed limit change as presented.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Supervisor Bogey,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
Yes.
and Trustee Nick.
Yes.
On to the solar ordinance. I do have some questions.
Go for it.
So they have to have an application for, so me and Pat Porter went to a meeting down in Dundee, and it's on PA 116 Land Act, and it is on MDARD, which are kind of one and the same now. And by this going to the state and them taking over and wanting to do, basically say, hey, we're putting it here, it doesn't matter. Not necessarily. Because remember when they were talking to, I can't remember who he was talking to, about putting in a, here. It'd be an R, abandonment decommissioning. We definitely need to put some kind of dollar amount in there.
Well, I
I mean,
think that's
well,
what that escrow,
That's 100,000, but I think that needs to be reviewed and looked at every year because it could go up.
I think it is reviewed I think
it
it's
says
3
it shall be
years or something.
updated on a periodic basis, not more than every 3 years.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I mean, my concern with $100,000, I just
It
don't
ain't
think that's enough.
No.
You know, when you put a monetary, I mean, I don't think $1 million would be enough, but I just think $100,000 is chump change anymore. Especially when they're looking at the scale of these. I mean, it's not just a couple acres. I mean, it's hundreds of acres.
I'll take a minimum 250,000 minimum, and then revisit it every so many years.
You know, and revisiting not more than every 3 years, does that leave, like, they could do it if they have to do it, they could do it in 10 years. I think having
2 years.
it has to be every 2 years or every 3 years.
I agree.
I just feel like not more than every 3 years is allowing them to not look at it for 10 years.
So, you know, the funny thing on that too is when me and Pat went to that MDARD meeting, whatever. So PA 116 is like, yep, you can put this on your farmland. We're going to allow it. We're going to do it. And then MDARD is part of that now, obviously. And then they come in and say, yeah, you can do all that, but you have to have a decommissioning plan. You have to have money in the bank and all this. So no one's ever mentioned that. So that was a real interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Because I was the first one to go, wait a minute. So I liked it. I'm glad that they're still stepping up, but I don't know how that's gonna go through the state.
I mean, I don't think we can really dictate or even try to think how it's gonna go through the state, because I don't think the state even knows how it's going through the
No.
state. So I think we have to kind of look at this as if the state has nothing to do with it, and this is our ordinance that we want in place to protect our residents. So I wouldn't plan for the state to, you know, make sure that we're all taken care of and that, you know, our thoughts and feelings, and they don't care about your thoughts or feelings.
The
So,
reason I want to get at least $250,000 in there is because what if? Because I'm protecting the people who want solar, technically.
right,
Because if they go belly up and go away, you're stuck with a field full of solar and you can't get rid of it. You gotta get rid of it on your own.
right.
With 250 grand, there, it might be a little more.
And these solar companies, I mean, they have the money to be able to, you know, it's not gonna hurt their pockets by any means.
No.
I don't wanna hurt our residents' pockets with having to clean up items either.
The site plan, the reason this item number 2 is in here, the value of decommissioning surety bond shall be determined by a third-party financial consultant, engineer, appropriate professional, blah, 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 at the township. The reason we put that in here is because it depends on how big it's gonna be. If it's gonna be 20 acres, if it's gonna be 5,000 acres, you know, the value of that bond is gonna be more. So it's on a case-by-case basis. And it's, you know, stated right here, the applicant will provide the township with the applicable surety bond of what we tell them to get.
So,
so.
so was there any, discussion in the planning commission, you know, you're leaving it up for the developer to find an appropriate professional? Oh,
No, we
selected
are.
by, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I misread that.
We are,
Paid for by the developer,
Mhm.
selected by the township. Okay, that makes me feel better.
Oh, yeah.
because when you have a landfill permit, you gotta pay so much an acre. So
Oh,
they, in escrow, so they need to me, it should be close to what that is,
okay.
you know, and that's very high dollar.
Because it's
You know,
changing the landscape. I mean, it's changing the,
You gotta clean up an acre of
Right.
ground, every acre costs you money, so. If it's a 10,000 acre facility, you're gonna have a lot more escrow than you are for a 100 acre facility.
But I thought a solar facility in the township was only limited to the industrial area, which is like 750 acres.
In our thing, right, correct.
Yeah.
In our,
but they could say we only want to do 200. So
Yeah.
what Nick's saying is that instead of, you know, making them have a surety bond for all 750 acres, it would only be for the acceptable 200 acres.
what they were gonna do.
What they were
their
gonna do.
plan is for.
Right.
Thank you.
And Nick, what was your guys's, you know, conversation about the, kind of what we brought up with, you know, not having to look at it for not more than every 3 years?
Well, it's at least every 3 years. You gotta look at it, not more.
Not more
So,
than 3 years,
so
so we
every
can't, so we
one-
can't look at it every year.
Every year you can look at it, right.
No, that
That's
doesn't,
not right, that's what we meant.
okay, okay, because that means that you can't, you
Periodic
have to,
basis.
right, so it's saying currently, right now, you can't look at it every year, it can't be more than every 3 years. So you
Yeah,
could
that don't make
potentially,
sense.
right,
Yeah,
so you wanted it to say,
It should be every 3 years
okay.
at a minimum.
Okay, so it shall be updated on a periodic basis, minimum of every 3 years.
Yeah, minimum.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
we discussed.
Okay,
Don't read that.
You know, my big fear is they're gonna come in here and do whatever they're gonna do. And they're an LLC company coming in the door, which means they can pull stakes and go away and.
which they have in other states. Kind of going back to what Amanda said with the sanctions, you know, she brings up a good point that we really don't have any, you know, if they go against, you know, if they're not following this ordinance, what's gonna happen to them? I mean,
Shut them down.
that's just plain and simple, they're not gonna get any chances, it's just, this ordinance says we're just gonna shut you down.
Correct.
Okay,
You have the ability to do that.
okay. Yes, Amanda?
So my mind was not working correctly earlier. Normally with these ordinances, that's what the escrow is for. So that technically there is no sanction.
So they kind of prepay for
Yes.
any
Yes.
potential boo-boos they may have done.
Yes.
Yeah, if something isn't fixed, you can. if they
Take
don't
that
fix it,
100,000, take it out of that 100,000, okay. So that kind of goes back to you saying that $100,000 isn't,
Yeah,
because I feel like if they do go against anything that, and we would find them, that $100,000 is gonna be gone pretty quickly.
The 100,000 is for the application.
Yeah, not the escrow, the surety bond. Sorry.
You guys are confusing with this verbiage here.
It's the rain. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's affecting my brain, not just my bones.
Okay, so the surety bond, okay, and that is
Yes.
based on the size of the project.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it's a surety bond instead of money. Because it has more meat to it, the surety bond.
Okay, so it's kind of more guaranteed than if they go
Yeah.
belly up.
If you renege on the surety bond and they gotta come in and take care of it, it's insurance policy basically. So if they gotta come in and take care of what you didn't do, you won't get a surety bond again.
Got it.
It'll be very difficult. So if that, even though it's an LLC, if the owners. you know,
that'll follow the owner.
Yeah, I believe they'll have a hard time getting
Okay.
another bond.
Okay.
You think
I mean-
Olga?
Okay.
Good with it?
I mean, the planning commission definitely, I mean, I have to give you guys a lot of kudos for, I mean, this has a lot more meat to it than the original 1.5 page ordinance was. You guys spent a lot of time. What else do you allow?
What do you think, Mr. Joel?
I don't have any problems with this.
The items that you really gotta, think about are the noise, because people don't think they make noise.
They do.
They make noise. The inverters make a lot of noise. And if you're 45 decibel or 65 decibel for a minute or two is one thing, but if it's solid for, 24/7, it's a different story. That's why we reduced it to 45. I want to go lower, but
So I guess there's thinking here about detailed projection for water usage and water source to be used.
yeah, because we're not gonna let them use the wells, because Brand X had in their contract, they can use the well, if they lease your property.
And they can drill, and they can drill any, as many, points as they wanted to,
And we're
from what I
saying
understood.
no.
Cause what I don't, yeah, cause that was one of my biggest things. I mean, I haul water, cause I don't have a well, cause water sucks where I'm at. But at Palmer Road, when I lived in London Township, I mean, the whole reason why there's no water out there is because of the sand pits. And that could very easily be something that happens
Absolutely.
here, so I definitely want to make sure that the
So they
residents
got,
are.
in the plan, they gotta tell us where they're gonna get the water, to wash them, to do whatever they gotta do, water the trees.
Okay,
And the last thing, there's supposed to be a, oh, what do you wanna call that? A building for all the collection of electrical, right? What's it called?
Not the substation, but there's a storage unit.
Yeah. So storage unit, that all has to be, if they build a storage unit, it needs to be on industrial as well, correct?
And I think that is in, let me find it here quick.
I'll say, is the substation information in here as well?
Yeah,
Okay,
it spells out the transmission lines, all that stuff.
okay,
But the transmission lines don't have to be, because you
Yeah, they
gotta
can be
get from A to Z.
sure,
Right. They're gonna be buried.
But if you give me a second, I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out where it was. I got my drain heights, I got water usage, I got setbacks and land. Extra. I got I got all these items here. And I
It's a lot
got
to
my
go.
last one, it's called extra shit.
Very nice. Probably
Covers
the
stuff.
biggest one.
Yeah.
while you're looking for that, I'm looking at J, security fencing. It just indicates fencing shall be maintained in good repair. And it very well could be in a different part, but is there does it state anything that if it's not in good repair, how quickly they have to fix it to get it in good repair? Cheryl's saying yes.
In good repair.
Oh, here it is, the maintenance and repair.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's 48 hours of such request, where so the township can review it, 48 hours. Don't want to read. I remember it was in the original ordinance originally.
I definitely think they covered pretty much everything.
So you got a building integrated solar energy system, indoor primary accessory building or structure.
Yeah, just like that.
So it doesn't say where it has to be located in. Unless they're just considering it all up here.
Yeah, is it all considered as one, as the system?
Yeah.
Oh, here, so this includes, so the solar energy system, SES, this includes any necessary operations made and maintenance buildings, but not include any temporary construction office substations. Okay, so yeah, so it does include any necessary operations or maintenance buildings. So when they say,
I1 or I2.
correct, so when they say solar energy system, that includes everything a part of that system,
Then I'm good with that then.
including the substations, all of that.
As long as it's an I1 and I2 with the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing was just, you know, they did the glare piece of it, which was a big one, and noise.
I don't think it includes the substation.
It doesn't?
I don't think so, because the substation has to go where the DTE tells them they can get into the transmission.
Yes, because it says, but does not include any temporary construction or substations.
Because they can only get into the lines in certain areas.
So
They
we,
can't just put it anywhere.
so the substation has to go in a specific area,
Yes,
okay?
correct.
So we can't really dictate in the ordinance that it needs to go into an I2 section.
I would say you'd have to in a sense.
It was going in a different, as we understood this one, it was gonna go in London Township,
Correct.
because that was the only place they could tap in. Why? That I don't know. The lines they got there or whatever. The substation was not part of it. The noisy thing it's the inverters,
And
changing the electricity from.
and the inverters are included as the solar energy system. So
Yes,
that has to be an I1 or
that
I2.
has to be right with them.
Okay.
It'll be right with them, and they're very, very loud. They make a lot of chatter.
I think that's probably the most important piece is the inverter then, with as much noise as they make, making sure that that stays in I1 and I2.
Okay.
I mean, I think this looks very, very good. I mean, my only thing would be,
I wouldn't, I mean, you don't have to push this.
No, no, no.
through tonight.
No,
No,
that's
no,
all.
I-
If there's a lot to look at here. you
Correct.
know.
I would say that I think at a glance, it looks great. My thing with, you know, our number 2 is just making sure that that states minimum of every 3 years, so that they're rechecking that.
Let's do it next month. I want to read into this.
You want to table that
Yeah.
and look into it a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do a,
I have a question
Yeah.
on page 5, R3. It says if the owner is financially unable to fulfill decommissioning plan, the township may use the surety bond. Well, with a surety bond of $250,000, I don't know anything about construction, but that doesn't seem like a lot of money to me.
right, so that's why the surety bond is based on like how much it would be per acre. So if they were only gonna put the solar in 200 acres, there's a specific, and Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a specific amount, like for landfills, that there's an X amount for each acre of how much it's gonna cost to clean up, and that's how much they have to do their surety bond.
No, the
Correct.
surety bond will be, we will hire somebody to tell us how much the surety bond's to be.
Right, but like you said with the landfills, it's,
That's just an example.
that's just an
right.
example, okay.
Landfills is so much an acre, just because to clean up an acre,
So
Cost so
our,
much
the expert or whoever we hire would be the one to dictate how much that surety bond should be.
they would discuss it with board and come up with a number, and then
Okay.
we could say, no, it's not enough, or we could say, okay,
Okay,
you know, they would just give what I see them doing is coming up with recommendations, saying this is what I come up with and why I come up with it. You know, A, B, C, D, and then you can say, well, I think it should be more,
okay.
so.
I'll make a motion to table this till next month to vote on it. I'd like to read it a little bit more.
There's a lot of items. I mean, it's, you know, there's lighting, that, you know, the height of the panels. There's a lot of stuff in here that the water usage was an important thing. Setbacks is an important item. Abandonment, which we talked about. The trees we're gonna put in for buffer. You know, we put bigger trees in now. They were like 3 foot. We went to, I believe, 8 foot. So there's a lot of items that,
There's lighting. It's, I think that it's
yeah, that's in there.
it's under there, yeah. No light shall leave the site, no, SES shall produce glare as defined by this ordinance, which causes impact on any adjacent lot or causes a danger or risk to motorists on the roadway. The applicant shall provide lighting and glare analysis to demonstrate compliance with this standard. And glare is, says it's defined by this ordinance, but I'm not sure where. So I think that's another thing we probably should. make
I
sure
think
that-
that's in the regular ordinance.
Gotcha. Oh, yes, yes.
Because some things are already in
Yeah.
the ordinance.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's fair, yeah.
So I'd make the motion on the table, let's read the table till next month,
Well, I think, yeah, we should
just
probably.
to read it a little bit further in
Yeah.
depth, and then we can make a good decision next month. Instead of rushing into it.
I'll second that.
Yeah, I think it's.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I don't think we need roll call on that, because it's table.
Yeah.
Jenna has the paper. Oh, we got it. Cemetery certificates, finally. You get one?
No.
Okay.
We all get
Yes.
Well, I don't have one.
Wow,
We just gave you one again, didn't we? Oh, here.
I've been feeling good lately too.
Okay, everybody got one now? So anyway, Amanda's been working on this. We've been working on with the cemetery commission, going over this because we had cemetery deeds, which you can't use deed in a cemetery burial certificate anymore because deed means it's property, which means it's taxable. So anyway, Amanda kind of designed all these, come up with it. The engineer was involved in it as well. But it looks like we got a couple different ones, if you guys want to use examples or. Maybe she'll do in here in a minute, she'll explain a little bit better. I got a lot of them to reissue, especially for rice. All the plots we sold out there, probably 10, 12 plots, they all gotta be reissued. Which is basically just take the old one, transfer information on here, we all sign it, send it back out to the people.
Sure.
It's not a big deal, but it just needs to be legally done correctly.
Whatever is highlighted in yellow on the certificates is either changed or from a previous draft.
Sure.
Oh.
That's fair.
Or is it?
There are 3 different papers there.
Yeah.
They're all different.
Yes.
One is for transfers, one is the certificate, the actual certificate, and the other one is for the, what is it, burial space, is it?
Burial space purchase form.
Yes.
Okay.
That's kind of like the receipt.
Right. I think it's a great idea. I think we need to do it. It needs to be done. It needs to be legitimate. You guys have any questions on that?
No, I think this looks great. I want to thank, you and Amanda and the whole cemetery commission. I mean, you guys have been working on this for a long time and it's a lot.
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I can't have another meeting on that.
So my only question is, so between the cemetery burial certificate and the transfer, there's the supervisor that needs to sign it as well as the clerk, but on the purchase form, it's just the clerk's signature.
Because.
It's just, because it's just a receipt.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect. No, I like it.
You think, Joel?
But it looks great.
Do you have these in,
I have in Word format.
What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, you gotta have something. If we don't have anything right now, I don't know.
Well, we got some, but it's not quite legit.
people just start digging holes and
Digging
throwing
holes.
people in there. I make a motion to accept the cemetery certificates as they're presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't think we need a roll call on that, do we? Just a
We should put
certificate.
this with like a list of all the plots, you know.
Oh, yeah.
A plan.
Amanda, is there gonna be any, we don't need to print these like special or anything, it's just pretty much off of our printer? Okay,
Yep.
so there's no,
Thank you.
there's no,
No, that's why the one has the place for your seal.
perfect, yep. Perfect, yeah, I don't think we need a roll call.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Onward. New business. Cemetery resolution. So this is basically a resolution that we can visit whenever, correct? Probably once a year, maybe whenever prices go up.
Yes.
This is basically about the resolution establish cemetery fees. And this is just for buying of the graves. This is not dinging of the, and putting you in the ground, basically. This is just you
That
purchasing
was,
it.
that was the ordinance that we passed last month,
Right,
was the actual burial,
right. But we had to have a fee thing. That's why we got a resolution.
correct. So for the qualified person, 300, limit of 8 graves is $300 per
Right,
grave.
yes. And we actually got 2 because information was given to them wrong quite a long time ago. So there's actually 2 non-qualified people are actually getting it for $300, unfortunately, because they were promised that.
Well, there was nothing,
No, I mean, I can see the correspondence, it's been going on for 2 years, so I mean, I get it. So I don't have a problem with that. Yeah,
and what is green burial?
That's when you don't do anything, you dig a hole and put them in it.
yeah, but on the cemetery ordinance, we have to have it upside down.
That's, okay, I didn't realize this.
We still have to have a vault, but it has to be upside down, that way you're with the earth.
Okay.
You wouldn't believe the things you gotta go through. No, you can't.
Amanda, do you know what resolution number this would be? Is this 158?
20.
That's okay.
30.
We'll figure that out, because we need
See, I
to,
could throw out numbers too.
yeah, all right. We'll figure that.
No, I have no idea.
We'll figure that out.
You good with it, Nick?
Yeah, the numbers, I mean, where did they come from?
Yeah,
The numbers on here?
Yeah,
They were partially in the old ordinance, but they're not supposed to be an ordinance, they're supposed to be a resolution to the ordinance.
did you guys contact Marble or anything to see like what their prices were? Because I
We
did get a,
really- Yeah,
I got a phone call from, a gentleman who works up at the, it's Marble up there, right? Yeah, and he wanted to get a little bit more information about our cemeteries because he said that the people in the city didn't know what other options they had besides Marble. And so I kind of gave him this information and that told him that we were working on fees, but I didn't, it sounds like their fees are probably significantly higher
they
than
are
what
in
our
the
fees
city,
are.
because they keep
So-
raising theirs, because that's a private actually.
Correct.
And actually, that's
And
where we
it's a
got,
beautiful cemetery.
that's where we got original ordinance from.
Oh, okay.
That's what we passed a couple years ago. That was
Okay.
kosher coming out, it wasn't, because it's private. This is a whole different animal.
so we could change these rates with
Yes,
a new order, a
A new
new amendment. or
new
something.
amendment to resolute, yeah, because it might go up.
Yeah. Should there be anything in here that states that we should probably relook at this every so often due to inflation?
You could,
But does it really,
if, no,
it just, okay,
no,
Just as needed.
no, you don't even have to put that in there, because
it doesn't have
as
to
soon
be.
as you do
written
another
out.
resolution,
This
you're
one's
gonna
for-
have that, be it further resolved
Right.
at the bottom, which is just, it's gonna cancel
Oh,
it
yeah.
out, so.
Okay.
But, something that I pointed out to Bogey yesterday, cause I always, find these things after I'm done with everything. So the, if you notice, cause I took these numbers from the old ordinance. I pulled them directly, the language, everything, okay? So in that ordinance, it says single adult grave. It says the transfer of graves, it says green burial, it says nothing about like, he said opening and closing and things like that should be in here.
Okay.
So as of right now, your new cemetery ordinance, is it in effect yet, or?
Should be.
June 1st.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we said, June 1st was gonna be the date.
Okay, so as soon as that goes into effect, then you have nothing in writing that says how much your fees are. So my suggestion is pass it the way it is, and then scrutinize it. What else do we need to add to this, that's gonna cover all of the different,
So we probably need to open and closing of the graves in here too, probably be a good idea.
yes, any disinterments, how much is that gonna cost?
Expensive.
Yeah, so that's my point, and then you could also maybe, we could do a little bit more research, calling around to different cemeteries, getting prices.
So my question is, and forgive my naiveness, but I've not buried anybody.
Neither have I.
Isn't it the responsibility of the person like burying the other person that they pay for the disinterment, they pay for the opening and closing, like, how do we do it now? We don't pay for that, do we?
Well, the disinterment we had to because we had a little issue.
That, well, that was,
there.
that was different. That was our fault that people were buried in the wrong spaces, but I mean, what's the process now? I mean, if I was gonna go bury somebody tomorrow, I have to get that all.
The proper process, if somebody has graves through the township, okay, or they're gonna purchase graves or whatever, they come to you. They call you. You are in charge of the cemetery.
Sure, no, I know.
You are supposed to be the liaison between the sexton and the family.
Which unfortunately rare as a sexton, because we don't really have one. Nobody does.
Well.
Not right now.
I mean, we do, I mean,
Yeah.
that's here nor there, but,
I just did it for my father. I had, at the time, it was called a deed, whatever it was, from maybe, St. Joe's and maybe, so they were purchased in 1961. So it was not a lot of paper.
Sure.
A little slip. And all I did was when I went up and talked to Mary Oschlack to get the funeral, she took care of everything. She called, took care of everything.
right, I don't know, I feel like if I'm gonna go bury somebody, it's my responsibility to, I bought the grave. I should be the one to work with the funeral home to set everything up, and I'm responsible for that cost.
No,
Yes.
and they are responsible for that, but I'm saying that, like, the opening and closing of graves, it normally comes through the township.
But my question is, why are we having to put it in our resolution for fees for
Because
disinterment and opening and closing?
Because you decide the fees.
Yeah,
The township
raise them.
decides those fees,
which we probably need
which
to
is
put in here.
also going to depend on how much your contractor is paid.
Okay, I'm getting it now. Okay.
Which right now it's $850 if you bury somebody, it's $350 if you put cremations in the ground.
So what your suggestion, Amanda, is that since we don't have anything on the books right now, to
Well,
accept,
you won't before the next meeting.
right, we accept it how it is, and then we move forward with adding the disinterment, the opening and closing of the grave fees and all that, just so we have something on the books before the ordinance is
Yes.
set.
So
Yes, that way you have something in writing, and these are your basics.
Sure.
here,
Sure.
You're not, hopefully, somewhere, not gonna have to deal with any disinterments or anything
Sure,
of the like.
yeah.
one was,
But at least you will have your basics covered, because when the new one goes into effect with the new ordinance, it negates the old ordinance, which has your fees in it,
Okay,
and you will have nothing.
okay.
So can we add the burial fee, all that on another resolution, or add to this resolution?
You can change this resolution, yes.
Why don't we do that? Let's run this through,
If
say
you know
yay.
all the numbers and everything, what you
Yeah.
wanna do, yeah, you could change it right now. I
Yeah,
just
that's what she's
didn't
saying.
know-
She
Right.
says to approve this one and then at the
we'll add
next
another one. Let's
meeting,
just get
we'll
it done.
add everything else.
Yeah, that way you're not rushing through it or getting something wrong, or, anything
Cause every
like
year
that.
concrete goes up,
Mm-hmm.
so right now it's $3,000 if you want a, what do you call that? I call it above ground vault, but a crypt, above ground crypt.
Yeah.
One single crypt is $3,000 now for the concrete.
Okay, so. So I mean, I make a motion to accept the cemetery resolution as presented today, and then we'll move forward with adding any changes.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Actually,
Aye.
get a roll call. Hang
Oh,
on.
it says roll call.
Yeah, get a roll call.
Supervisor Rogie,
Yes.
Stephanie Kozar, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Oga,
Yes,
and Trustee Nick.
Yes. We need to do that.
Yeah, we'll get something drafted up and,
That can be done quickly.
yeah. All right, so, township insurance update, so, Jason Orton, who is our, agent, he stopped by last month. And brought us our insurance stuff, that's what this big packet is. Nothing's really changed, we still have the same type of coverage, he just kind of went over everything with me. Like I said, nothing's changed, everything's pretty well broken down, of what's covered. The rate this year, so last year it's only gone up about, I wanna say, so last year was $8,831. This year was $9,429, and that's due to inflation, we didn't add anything, we didn't increase anything, that's just pretty much everything's going up, so I was actually really surprised it didn't go up any
Right.
more. I think under $1,000, I was quite surprised with that. So this covers us for the next year. We have the insurance package is $8,207. That's what that costs. And then cyber itself was $1,150. So. But I didn't know, so it's David Chapman Agency. They are part of the, what is that agency? The Michigan Township Participating Plan. They work with a lot of municipalities. So they've treated us pretty well. Jason's
Yes.
always been very.
At least you can talk to him on the phone.
Yes, we have a cell phone. He's very knowledgeable with everything. When we got in that lawsuit, for that high-speed chase that happened on 23, that they named every Tom, Dick, and Harry, in the southeast side of the state. I called him right away and he said, just send everything over to me. He sent it to a lawyer. The lawyer ended up taking care of everything, after he stopped down here, sat with me for about 20 minutes to say, oh, you don't have a police station? Okay, cool. Let's get you off of this. So, yeah, he's always been very, forthcoming, so didn't know if we wanted to, I mean, we've already paid him for this year, but for next year, I didn't know if we wanted to shop around or if we are good with kind of sticking with this group.
I say we send it out to a couple agents like January next year. Just make sure they're in line. But they're all over, what do you call it, Michigan Township Association, MTA. Doesn't hurt to check though.
No, and I will touch base with the MTA to see if they have any other groups that work with them to get some.
Usually on insurance, your agent will get the quotes. If you have different agents getting quotes, then that's a problem. It's just a heck of a system. It's a bad system.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree.
Because they go out to the markets and they get prices from, you know,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
farmers group, from
Yeah.
all, you know.
Well, if you
all
go
the
to an
insurance.
independent agent, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go to a one carrier, and a lot of these carriers won't even deal with us anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta go to an
agent should
independent
know.
agent. Then you can farm it out, but it doesn't hurt to look.
Right, I know.
Looks are
But they
free.
should bring you 3 or 4 quotes. Your agent should bring you 3 or 4
Yes.
different proposals from farmers group, from auto owners, from whoever. you know.
Citizens.
Yeah,
Some
I
of them
agree.
won't do like municipalities and stuff.
Correct.
yeah. Too much of a liability.
That's true. All right, we good on this?
I'm good, yeah.
Good.
Just wanted to kind of give an update.
All right, on to trash day.
Hogan's gotta take a bow for the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's our best trash day ever.
Well, yes, makes me so happy. 89 loads came in,
Wow.
but, you know, when you talk about a load, it could be a car or a pickup, but many pickups came in loaded with a trailer behind, overflowing. It was wonderful.
Yeah, we had,
A lot of debris.
Yep.
I had,
it started at 7:15 in the morning. And the line didn't end till 1 o'clock. They're lined up on the roads.
yeah,
It was, I've never seen it like that.
I wasn't here, but I got many phone calls saying that it must be a success because
It
both
was
sides of
lined.
the road were full. So that's great to hear.
I got blamed by her that I called all my friends up.
Well, that's good. Bring them out, bring them out.
Yeah.
It's better than going in the ditches.
We did have a couple little small issues. A couple people got turned away because the rules that we didn't know about. They don't mind shingles, but they want them bundled. So we gotta, you said we got it. We got it. Did you print it off to look at the rules?
Yes, so all the rules, we received the restrictions. I have manipulated them a little bit in terms of formatting because it was like screaming at me in all caps. So I manipulated it a little bit and I asked Amanda or Jenna to post it on the website, so it's there for future trash days. I will say I was not super impressed with Stevens this year. They gave Mark a receipt at trash day of 4 trucks and 3 open tops. Or 4 and
Originally.
4. And then Mark said, no, I think we only had 3 open tops, so they wrote him a different receipt. And then I received the bill in the mail for 4 and 4. So I called Mr. Clark down at Stevens and we had a little bit of a conversation. And it sounds like he charged us for the residents who were turned away here that went down to Stevens instead of charging the residents who went down there. So I told him that is not an expectation that we are going to set and that we didn't have the restrictions available to us. So moving forward, I have asked Mark to keep, or whomever is here at trash day, to keep a very detailed account of how many trucks are here and how many open tops are here, because I think there's a little bit of a swindle going on with what was here and what wasn't. So
I agree.
I made it very clear that we were very unhappy with how that was handled. Otherwise, it was a spectacular day.
Should sign a ticket for every load that goes out.
I
Right
agree.
then.
I told Mark, I said, I want
That's a
license plates,
standard-
right? I
That's
want license
standard
plates of
operating
every
procedure.
truck that leaves
But
here.
if they have a ticket, a 2-3 part ticket,
Yep,
you know, and Olga, she's the master over
Yep.
there, so she would sign it.
yep,
And then she'd have the ticket in her hand and come back, oh, we did 3 loads, here's the ticket.
right,
And they can only bill for the tickets.
correct.
So.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
thought
pretty
that was kind of
standard operating procedure for construction.
I don't think they
They
have
know
a
that.
very good standard. Like I told him when I spoke to him that I'm constantly having to call just on our monthly trash bill. That things are incorrect, we're being overbilled, we're being underbilled. Right now we have a credit that I have no idea how we got a credit. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye out because I can swear the next bill we get, I'll probably have a late fee on there. So I'm very discouraged with how they work down there. So
Yes.
unfortunately, we don't have too many options, and they've done very well in the past. So we'll give them one more chance in the fall and see what kind of goes from there.
But we did bring in $592. most we ever brought in for donations. That was kind of nice.
Did we want to talk about what to do with that money, or, I mean, I can do that with the next.
I think we probably should.
Okay, well, I can kind of wrap it into number 4. So, there is a significant amount of money in the till, here at the township.
What's a till?
It's just like a box
Cash
that's
box.
cash box.
Till.
It's a till. I'm from the
That's old
1920s, leave me
school.
alone.
You shouldn't say still.
Right, a till. We have about, almost $800 in the till, not including the money from, this month's or last month's trash
We're
day.
dealing with $1,200.
So we have like $1,200 in the till. I wanted to just bring it up to say, I don't feel comfortable having that amount of cash here at the hall. And what we would want to kind of do with that, most of the money is from donations from trash day. And so I wanted to see if there was anything that we could come up to donate that money to kind
All
of give
that
back.
money is from trash day.
Is it all from trash
It's
day?
all, yeah, for
Okay.
years. and yeah.
Okay.
Why don't we
Okay.
donate?
You can
some-
have a petty cash account.
Yeah.
100%, and we definitely
Well,
need
we
to
don't
have
need that
one for
much.
especially tax time.
But you should know what's in it and it should be on your.
100%, and I don't think it's been very well reported in the past. And again, you know, Jen and I are here sometimes by ourselves, and I just don't feel comfortable having that much
Well,
physical
since we
cash
got
here.
$1,200-1,300 in there, right? Roughly.
Yeah.
7, 5, 12, 13. Yeah, we got $1,400. I'll donate 1,000 to 8 Milan or something.
I would be fine with that.
That way someone gets fed. Nobody goes hungry.
And Milan Township people are eligible for
Yep.
that, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Your wife's not here, okay.
I-
It just has to be a 48160 area code, right?
Yeah, but mine,
Yeah.
if I wanna go up there, mine is 48159.
Oh. Oh.
We'll change your name.
You're good, though. You
Is
can
she
go up
though?
there.
Would she be okay to go up to 8 Mile even though she doesn't have the?
Monroe County, I think. I
Can
think you're
we,
okay.
can we find that out first to make sure that all of our residents would be
Okay.
able to go up there before we donate?
Yeah, just get, have Sally call you or something.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll put the table that till next month.
okay.
I make a motion to table that till next month.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Table. Audit pickup.
Joel? Audit pickup?
Audit pickup, they came.
They came.
Pick up all their, pick
They
up
picked
all
it
their
up.
stuff, all the 941s, everything was there.
We didn't miss a 941 this
We
year.
got it all.
Yes, so Joel and I worked, very hard to get everything to them. I've been working with Courtney, to get any missing items. There was a few things that we forgot to give her. And I've been working with her on how to do the fire department invoices to make sure that they reflect the correct year. So hopefully they'll have the audit done here in a month or so, and we'll be able to have Sarah or Courtney come and give us the 411.
Any other questions?
Or anything else, Joel?
That's about it. Yeah, it just takes about a month and a half.
Yeah. I did ask them to audit all the paychecks for me, Mark, and Joel. I just wanted them to look at the entire year. They were only doing spot checks of the paychecks. And I just thought it would be appropriate for them to look at all 12 months. So that might take a little longer too.
All right. Move on to the next item, because that's really not, that was just a
Yep,
discussion
yep,
point.
mhm.
Extension of our credit limit. Just,
Oh,
I can,
yes,
I can jump onto
go
that.
for it.
I need to get an extension of credit limit because we just had something come through and I mean, it wasn't a big deal and it was getting a road repair. We have $1,000 limit right now and this is $1,075, which I could have approved and had done and.
Right.
But now we have to go through the board process. I think we need to raise each department up to a certain level, which what everybody feels comfortable with. Now I'm open for discussion. Each department, I think, needs a different limit.
Department meaning like roads, supplies.
Yeah, well, I mean, like my department, supervisor department needs X amount of dollars to say, hey, we need a crossed out culvert. It's an emergency, we need to get it done. We need $9 grand, or $5 grand, or whatever it is. Something like that, instead of having an emergency board meeting, going through all that.
No, I agree, but like your supervisor, that $5,000 could be used for supplies though, too, if we're just going by supervisor department. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, mine's more for roads than anything.
Sure.
Yeah,
So I would think saying that you as a supervisor would be, I would be okay with the $5,000 limit for roads.
yeah. And then whatever your department would,
I think I could bump mine to 1,500 and I think that would be more than enough.
I haven't blown over the 1,000, so,
okay.
yeah,
You're tough.
right. I just collect the taxes, I don't spend none of it.
Yeah.
So 1,000, 1,500, and $5 grand.
Yeah.
That sound?
Aye.
What do you think, Nick?
And how much of an emergency is it, if, you know,
I'm looking at like a broken culvert, like something was to happen major.
You
we need
already
to get
got
something done.
1,000,
Yeah.
right,
so, it's- yeah.
So bumping mine up $500, that's for, if we have a supply, if we have a heavy month of, like, I just bought microphones, so we don't have to keep using Amanda's and, that type of thing, on top of all our other supplies. If I reach $1,500, I'll be looking at my bill to say, what did I freaking spend?
And you're looking at for roads.
That's a big thing. We get a crossed out culvert, something needs to be opened up and repaired right away. I mean, I think $5 grand's a good limit. That we don't have to make a special meeting. Everybody come in here and discuss that. We're gonna fix the road.
You want to limit it to certain items?
We could.
I think
Just-
mine,
Just road and ditching would be me.
yeah, I think road and ditching would be you.
Yeah.
Supplies would be for me. Yes, Amanda.
Obviously, right now, motion is fine. I do suggest you make a resolution. It will be easier to find in the future,
Sure.
rather than going through all the minutes.
We can do that.
So we
Fewer
can-
Resolutions.
Yeah, we can motion for the amounts and then I'll create a resolution and bring that to the next meeting. That's fair.
I'm good with that. You good with that?
yeah.
And in
Okay.
the resolution, then you could outline.
Outline what it's
Yeah,
for.
that's
Yeah.
fair. That's a good idea.
There you go.
Like my trip to Tahiti, I mean. I ain't never lived in the US. so I'm
Your
good.
deputy, right?
All right,
All right, I make a motion to keep the treasurer at 1,000, 1,500, increase clerk to 1,500, increase supervisor to 5,000, pending a resolution that will be presented next month.
I'll second that.
so we need to do a roll call on that.
Yeah, Supervisor Bogey,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes, Treasurer Joel,
Yes,
Trustee Olga,
Yes,
and Trustee Nick.
Yes.
All right, on to the next one. Monroe County Road Commission contract. Oh, so we've got we've got to start on this one. 'cause they're different.
Plat extension at Day.
So at Day Road, Platt and Day, where they come together down here, I call them quick turn or whatever you do, the little Y instead of go to the stop sign. What do you call them? There's a name.
Call it curve.
A curve, yeah. There's another name for it, but yeah. I can't remember what we used to call it back in the day.
It's a curve.
Yeah, there was a name for it back in the day. They closed it.
A fork?
Yeah,
Fork in the
Fork in the Road. So anyway, they closed it down here because the cross tile culvert broke. So it's got two big holes in the middle of the road, so they come down and pounded stakes and closed it off. Just like- What's that?
I didn't tell anybody.
Right.
Day
Well, they did
road,
tell somebody, but they didn't
Day and
explain it.
Platt, where
so
that.
which one
curve-
closed, Platt or Day?
That curve, they
Platt.
shut yeah,
Platt.
Platt.
It's now a T.
Yeah, it's a,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
instead of curve in the T.
So the problem arises because that's a T in the road now. It doesn't follow through the other
They did what
side.
they did over on Redmond Road,
Yes.
they took
Correct.
out that
Yes.
sweet.
So the problem with a semi truck going around there, which farmers are gonna have a problem now because there's no other road to kind of zip
It's
on,
pain.
make a curve and come back on
I've
the road.
tried to do it, it's pain.
It's a pain, it's tight. So I talked to the road commission and they didn't send the contract out for doing the other thing. They only sent the contract out for this. To fix that cross tile culvert, it's $25,000 because it's huge. And they gotta put a catch basin in too and straighten that up. There's another mess going on. They did not give me a price for doing a culvert extension on Platt. So we won't have to use this curve
I
anymore.
think it is the water from the
East,
east side of Platte Road curve goes over to Lepperman Drain.
yes,
That's the one that goes by our farm. It goes that direction out.
correct.
The water goes that way.
So the problem is, they didn't give me a price on the other one, but I think it's gonna be expensive, because that culvert underneath Day, the end Day is, or not Day, but Platt is huge. But they're supposed to give me a price on both, they only give me a price on one thing.
So, and again, my naiveness is coming through. What would be the most appropriate fix? This or what we haven't been quoted yet? What would make most sense and what would? Because both of them are gonna be expensive.
Right.
So what makes the most sense to fix?
I'd
and how to
rather
fix
close
it?
off the curve.
All the way down the end, south.
Oh,
Right there.
oh, I see the
Yeah.
little curve you're talking
Yep.
about there.
So you would rather close off the curve?
Cause to me, it's. I know it's been around for years, everyone's used it, but they keep closing them off. There used to be one on Hickory and County Line.
Mhm.
There's one at Redmond and Denison. And I thought there was one more somewhere else. And then plus this one. They're a traffic hazard. And the county will tell you that.
And I can appreciate
Right.
that, but so that would be. Closing off the curve would be the one that we haven't received a quote.
No, this is
Oh,
fixing the curve.
This is fixing the curve
They didn't give me one on extending the culvert out, so you guys would have a wider path. to
and
make
getting
cuts.
rid of the curve.
Correct. So I'm waiting on
Oh,
that.
okay, I know what you're saying now.
Yeah, extend that
The
culvert
ditch on the
out.
south, the ditch on the north side of Platte Road.
Correct. Because right now you can't.
I mean,
No, I've tried it with the blue semi truck, it's impossible.
Yeah.
as a farmer who would use that, what would your preference be? Either keep the curve or extend it,
Keep the curve.
okay?
The problem is, the reason I thought they did is because I thought they were trying to keep the speedies from not
No.
making the curve and going out in the grass.
Right. No, they did it because the culvert actually fell underneath of it. So I want to wait till we get that back before I like to table this anyway. Because I want to make sure we get the other bid. I don't know why they.
Because I've got ground that I farm right there at
Yeah.
that intersection.
Right.
So by doing the other thing, by getting rid of the curve and widening it, would that still work for
Well.
the
right now-
trucks?
Well, that's part of it. With the curve in there. I used the Platte Road stop sign, took my grade head on the combine. So I
Okay,
had a flat surface I got to work from. Now that you take the curve out, I've lost my loading spot.
Well, I definitely want to get the other bid and then kind of see where we're at.
So what do you do for a right turn?
It don't go right.
Well, but you're not the only truck down there. If you,
That's
if you
true.
come up and make the T wider, then
Right.
you're doing both
Both
sides.
sides.
yeah.
This way here, you'd only sweep into the left.
100%.
Nobody gets to sweep to the right.
Next
Back of the
next
day.
problem is if somebody blows that stop sign, they're gonna win a nice big electrical pole.
Oh, we'll stop them. Won't go in your field.
Yeah, well, and I mean, that pole's that right around. the corner.
Well, they should
I
stop
guess my
it.
point is, if you take the sweep out and do the culvert, you catch both sides.
Yeah,
But I want to get a bid back on
And
it.
then
no,
you-
yeah,
Because that culvert is
You
big.
don't have people running that. Cause you know, if your corn's up, you make the left turn, nobody's coming, nobody stops.
Mhm.
This way here, it's just stop, turn back.
yeah.
Well, let's
I will have
table
to say, back in the day, those were nice turns though on a dirt road.
Oh, yeah, we all used them.
No, we all did it.
it. Flew around them too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
They're kind of fun.
Okay.
right.
Redmond was a blast. All right, so let's table that for right now.
So you make a motion?
Yep, I make a motion table till we get the other bid for,
I will second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. All right, Sherman Road on the dead end, I got a deal on this. So we did all of Sherman Road and all of Crow Road right now, with berms cut, new gravel, they're supposed to come up for it here. Supposed to be this week, but it's probably next week now. But we have one dead end on Platt. Between Platt, on Sherman,
Platt,
west
west,
of Platt.
Sherman west of Platt.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yep.
Anyway, it's $1,075. We get the 500 tons of free gravel from Wholesome. And the county can do that. So I need the $1,075 to get that approved. Any discussions on that?
For $1,000, I approve.
All right, so are you making a motion?
I'll make them. Yep.
Joel, who's making a
Sure, I'll
motion?
make a motion.
Okay. Who's seconding it?
Me.
Okay.
Roll call.
Yeah, Supervisor Rogie,
Yes,
Clerk Stephanie, yes, Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Yoga,
Yes,
Trustee Nick.
Yes,
this is a perfect example. I could have just approved this, still
Correct.
bring it to the board, but
Oh, yeah.
now, fun stuff. Our villages are coming up this year. We're asking for renewals. And we're gonna put it on the August. We can spit it out.
August election.
August election, the primary. I wanna put, there's 2 road fund maintenances that are coming up. There's, oh God, there's actually specific language. Road maintenance and repair millage restoration proposal, which we're just on renewal. And the other one is a supplemental to the repair millage proposal. They've been in effect for 5 years now.
4.
Well, yeah, but they wrote them as 4. It's kind of goofy. The
Oh,
writing
okay.
wasn't quite correct.
Got it.
It's not gonna make your taxes go up. It's still gonna be going in the road fund, which we're banging the roads out pretty hard right now. And I wanna keep this going because once the roads are done, now we can start doing ditching and drainage and put all the money into that. Once the ditching comes, the roads stay together a lot longer, and maybe in 4 years, we won't need a road millage anymore, but right now, we definitely could use it.
And Karen and Marty, the lawyer, looked over all of the wording and all of the numbers to make sure everything came out appropriately for a renewal. Again, no increase in anything, so
It's just
everything's
a
been
renewal.
approved by them.
So that's kind of what we got. We just got it back. Now we gotta she's gonna get it to who's the guy in the county. Someone still has to look at it, but we can
Oh, yeah,
approve
yeah.
this tonight.
Yeah, which is,
But they just want to make sure the writing is Mike something down at the tax.
County Equalization Director.
You just want to make sure the writing's all legit, but I'm pretty sure it is, but
Yeah, because we gotta get this wording to the county by the 16th to get it on the August ballot. Because we'd like to get it on the August, because if it gets
Right.
approved, great. If not, then we can do a little bit more education to everybody to say it's a renewal, keeping everything the same to get it on the November ballot.
which Bob, you can attest to it. You're liking the roads getting fixed now, I bet. A little better.
It is better, yes.
Yes.
I'm glad.
Like I said, once we use this up, then we can start putting in the ditches, start doing more maintenance and keep stuff up, to let it go.
I make a motion to accept the road maintenance renewal language.
I'll second that. Roll call.
Supervisor Bogie,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
yes.
and Trustee Nick.
yes.
And what is the supplemental? Is that for like the drainage stuff?
It's just a supplement. They've always approved it. Instead of doing one, they've always done 2, but it's been around for 5 years. It just goes all in the same budget. So I like to make a motion. We do supplemental road maintenance and repair renewal.
I'll second that one.
Roll call?
Supervisor Bogie,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
Yes,
Trustee Nick.
Yes,
Then we got the fire protection renewal, which is basically our fire millage.
that's a big one.
Same thing, this is a renewal. It's not asking for more money, and it's not giving more money in anybody's pocket, so. Any questions on that?
I make a motion to accept the fire protection renewal.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Supervisor Bogie,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
yes.
and Trustee Nick.
Yes,
Holy cow, we're done. Almost. Oh, no.
One more.
You need,
Mr. Joel.
Hold on, hold
you
on.
need to do an approval for the L 4029.
I know, I was just gonna say that, that we didn't put that on the agenda when we changed it, but since it's part of the resolutions, we can just do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's under, yeah, you're under resolution, so yeah.
okay, so it's just, okay. So,
Oh,
like Karen brought up and like Amanda just reminded me, we need to approve the 2024 tax rate request. Again, that kind of goes with the
millages.
millages. It's just the 2024 taxable value, which Karen went over. So I make a motion to accept the 2024 tax rate request.
Second that.
Roll call on that just
Yeah.
for fun.
Supervisor Roby?
Yeah.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel?
Yes.
Trustee Olga? Yes. Trustee Nick?
No. I don't know what it is.
Oh.
I can't vote on it.
So Karen.
Motion passes anyway.
There.
No.
That's
No,
right, I
hold
can't vote on it,
Hold
I
on.
don't know.
So in Karen's report,
You can just, yeah, give it to me, that's fine.
yeah, so it just says
It's the same rate.
it's the same, yeah, so it's literally just everything that she collects regarding the taxable value, and this is what our tax rate request is. It's that one, the original millage.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
mean,
that
that's,
one.
yeah, you can continue. on
Okay.
that.
Which is the operating millage,
Yeah.
Right.
the two road millages and fire millages.
Right.
And there's no Headley rollback because we keep just getting underneath the number.
Yep.
If she explained that to me, and that's rushing all in one.
Okay. Joel, you got the,
Rice Cemetery,
yeah, what about it?
there is about 50 or 60 ton of that stone sitting there.
Still?
Yes.
We didn't move that one yet.
Oh, okay.
I have a backhoe and I have another guy with a dump truck that we move it around the other side because the ruts are bad and the original. Just spread all that stone and get rid of it.
Yeah, 'cause it's actually, you know, glad you brought that up because me and Amanda were out there digging around for the grave markers, which that turned into a chore. And we met Mr. Rice back there, who lives next door to it. And he would like that gone because it's just four-wheelers and quads are coming with things.
Right.
A place to jump and have fun.
Just, yeah, I realize that stuff's free and all, but. Yeah,
Yeah, I make a motion for you guys.
it's, you know, about $600 to
Oh.
move it around.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause you gotta get a guy to do it.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm good with it.
I make a motion to accept $600 to move that stone.
I'll second it.
And that's a for sure 600?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll leave it right in this, just in that lot, spread it out.
We're gonna take it and dump spread it around the original cemetery and then
Okay.
whatever's left, we'll spread in the new part.
Yeah.
There's a lot there.
Yeah. I moved it. I spent all day at Azalea doing that one. I ain't doing that over again.
Right.
I was there all day.
It's too much for just a backhoe bucket around back and forth in 3 days.
Just think of my little bucket on my tractor was.
Right.
We're done with that. Roll call.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Supervisor Roby?
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel?
Yes.
Trustee Olga?
Yes,
And trustee Nick?
Yes,
All right, board member comments. I think I want to give Pat Porter a little training on this, so he doesn't use his thumbprint anymore on the computer. Those kind of comments, he's off now.
No, he's still there.
Is he? Oh, yeah.
Don't let him make fun of you, Patrick.
Oh, that was too much fun. You have a picture I think you can put up for me? We have a member on our staff here is doing something on the extracurricular activities.
You better not have.
I hate your pictures.
Oh, look at that.
There's Coach Stephanie.
Hey.
I got you to pose. I thought that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
I was playing Simon Says with my T-ball team.
Oh, that was kind of neat. I went down to the parade last week and I mean, there was a lot of people there. You know, that's something is in the community has not gone down.
No,
It is,
no.
it's there. And Amanda was at the, what was that called?
Taste of the Blackbird.
That was good.
It's like herding cats for 4 and 5-year-olds to try to get them to line up for a parade, so it was
Oh, it's hilarious.
It was fun.
I had fun watching it. Had a bunch of other things I want to talk about, but really I'm gonna cut it short because I know we want to get out of here tonight. So I want to thank the board for everything you guys done. We've definitely done a lot this last month. On to our fine treasure.
I don't have much, other than I'm running again. If anybody wants to vote for me in November. I'll do my best to collect your money.
So I got a dumb question. So the primaries, are we still on it or?
I think so.
Because I have no idea.
I think we are.
yeah.
Bob, do you have an idea how that works or not
We'll be on
really?
the
'Cause
If nobody's running against you, do we go on the August too? A lot of them,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought, yeah,
It appears on the ballot.
right, you're just running alone,
Yeah, it's just only your name is there.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Unless
Well, no,
unless
I
I'm
mean,
uncommitted.
it depends on who you are. For you, it'll be just yourself,
Right,
but for like Olga. or
Right, it'll be all the
whoever else, it'll be
trustees.
all the people that are trustees.
correct, and then it'll say choose two,
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
choose two.
okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought,
Okay.
yeah.
That was easy. Vote for me. Oh my God. Do you have anything else, Joel?
No, that's about it. Everything's great.
Trustee Straw.
I won't use this time to campaign.
You know what's not on here? The clerk's not on here.
That's all right, I'll go last.
But I want to thank Olga for sticking out that real cold weather on the cleanup day there.
Yes, it was chilly.
Yes.
It was chilly.
It was chilly and they were lined up on the road till afternoon, I think, before they got off the road.
I've never seen that before. That was crazy.
I was across the street.
Where's you? I think you were.
Parked down the street.
That's wild.
No, yeah, it was crazy. Anything
Where
else,
did
sir?
all the junk come from?
Just everybody
It's
just hauled
everybody.
stuff in.
Oh, yeah, there is one other thing I got. Mark Bogey's keeping our dead safe and he's got the fence fixed over there on Rice Cemetery.
Oh, yes.
So they can't get out.
It's fixed.
It's fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're gonna actually pay for it, but the probation department called me, Monroe County, the guy who hit it, and they wanted the restitution numbers, so.
They're gonna start garnishing his wages.
Yeah.
So
we
tell
got-
him to pay $20 a week or something.
No, they're done with him, so this
Oh,
is
yeah.
his fourth attempt to screw things up, so.
Huh.
And Doobie said his, so all the work Doobie did trying to go through all the motions and all the
Yeah.
court stuff, he put a thing together and they accepted that too, so we get reimbursed for Doobie's time.
Movies thing too.
Yeah.
It was kind of
The
nice.
guy should have just, and if you'd have just fessed up and fixed it, it'd probably only cost him half.
Right,
Yeah, now we're.
'Cause it wasn't that big
for,
of a
about 2,400.
I would say it was 1,500 and now it's about $1,000 more.
Yep.
But that's it.
Thank you,
The
sir.
planning commission don't meet till Tuesday.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Olga,
I have nothing.
you have nothing.
Oh, I gotta go
You're
back. to
doing a
meetings
fine
before
job.
she's done.
What's that?
Before I'm done quickly, if the board could go through those, the zoning, the solar zoning ordinance and have questions, you know, and I can have everything ready for the next meeting.
Okay.
Instead of waiting, you know, if you got something flip through.
Oh, yeah, for
call me
Tuesday, you
or-
mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, no, that's a good idea. Our fine clerk.
So BSNA, the current modules went live on the 29th. We are getting through it. Struggling, but we're doing it. Like I said, I did my first payroll today, hour and a half in, but that's fine. So Joel's in for taxes. Karen had a little bit of a headache with hers, but hopefully we got that all squared away. And the building module is gonna be going live June 25th, I believe, is the first day. So we'll have like all week training available, or 24th. We'll have all week training available for Robert. If Jenna wants to bring her baby in, I told her that I can probably train her, but so yeah, so that's going live. So we're in the home stretch at least.
I think it just could take a little time. It's just like getting a new phone. It takes the first 2 weeks.
It is a
terrible, but
completely
you'll get-
different look. It's like going from DOS to Windows. Like, it's just, it'll be nice once we're familiar with it, I think. Once you get through a tax season, I think you'll really like it.
It only took me 4 years to figure this
Yeah.
one out.
It's fine. You're gonna get reelected, it's fine. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. Elections, coming up, August, Jenna and I are gearing up for the August election. I think our deadline dates start, next week, so we'll be checking things off the list, to hopefully have this one running smoothly.
That's another 9-day.
9 days of early voting at Raisonville Township for the 2 people that showed up in February. Yep.
Anything else?
Oh, a complete
Yeah.
waste of money.
And then
Anything
again in
else?
November too.
And then we'll do it again in November. No, that is it.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to bring up one thing. I did put the AED machine up. And then,
Oh, yeah.
that's Phil's red globe that was on his truck.
Perfect.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yep. I found a place to
You
put
should
it.
put his
finally.
name on it.
I know, we need to.
Flip, yep.
I'll print one off the.
Okay.
Flip.
Show me what color.
I had to glue it together because that's the one I found in this barn that was destroyed, but I got it all glued back together and
It looks
polished it
It's a
up.
good memorial.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is. He was here a long time, so.
Now you just need a button to make it go off every once.
That's fine.
Right.
I thought he was gonna get it working, so when, the crowd gets rowdy, you can just put the light on.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know you guys are sticking in my truck twice, so that ain't happening. All right, what's the staff guy? Anything new there, Jenna?
Probably won't be at the next meeting, so.
What would be your excuse?
Right?
No, I don't have really anything. Stephanie covered it, so.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Amanda?
Oh, please, you got something.
Put the shot collar in her next.
I will, Stephanie, I will email you all of the certificates
Thank you.
along with the 2 resolutions.
Appreciate it.
That way, any changes you can get made quick.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. That it? Got public comment for 5 minutes.
I just have a question. I got a letter from the equalization department, I believe, about assessing.
Yes,
They're gonna assess,
they just come around and might measure stuff.
all right, do they
Or take
come if I'm
pictures.
not there, or they make sure I am
Yeah.
there? Can they do
They'll
that? I
just-
mean, I'm
they'll
not
just walk
planning on
on.
meeting, pardon me?
They'll just walk on.
Okay, so do they come to the door first?
I believe so.
That'd be Karen, won't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
She's a good person.
so if I'm not home, they have a right to just do it, period?
I couldn't tell you that for sure.
Karen?
I don't know if she's.
I'm here, hello.
There you
That
go.
actually, the letter you receive is from the equalization department from the county. They do their own appraisals separately from mine. So it'll probably will be people from that department. And yes, they will come to the door first and knock, and they will ask your permission to walk around the property. So, and maybe take a measurement or two to verify what they have on their record cards.
Can you
So,
deny?
you can always deny somebody access to your property, yes. I mean, you can deny me to come on your property. But it's best that if you let them, but if you don't want them on your property, you absolutely have a right to tell them no.
Fair.
No,
The letter says you can call and tell them that ahead of time.
yes, you can.
And you can call with questions if you want. But
Yeah.
I will be away for vacation and that was my concern.
Yeah,
I don't know how to deal with that. I mean, I just wanted to know.
yeah,
I'm not gonna stop them. That's crazy.
Right. Well, you've been there for the beginning of time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little crazy, but no.
You can always call and probably tell them like, don't come that week or, whatever, and that you'll be home.
I was going to call, but I thought I'd ask you
Yeah,
first. So
Absolutely.
should I call Karen, tell them when I'm gonna be away?
you can probably call and find out when they're gonna come. And then let them know that you may or may not be there or how you want to approach it. They're pretty nice about it. But definitely call and express your concern. And then see what time frame they're coming out if they know, and then maybe you guys can work out to where you'll be there or not.
Okay, all right.
So-
I just thought this was a good place to
Oh,
find out,
no, I
forgetting
agree.
that she would be
Yeah.
accessible.
Yeah.
So this is cool. Thank you.
Yep, you're
Thanks,
welcome.
And thank all of you for putting up with my question. Public comment time.
That's what we're here for.
Yep.
Anybody else? Holy man. Oh, you got
Oh,
me kidding.
no.
Here we go.
Hey, I have to, this is public comment time. I couldn't do this as staff. This is a request for a letter for.
Oh, yes.
For their volunteer time for the,
I was gonna bring it up and I forgot. I have good notes tonight. But her kids are in the Navy cadet program and they went to clean up Azalea Cemetery this year. And I brought it down here during trash day. And last year you guys did Rice.
yes,
Yeah, this year you did Azalea. And then you guys will be here Memorial Day.
it'll be it'll probably be in the morning, I would say 10 or 11.
They did
I
a,
haven't gotten an exact time.
you get the flags ordered too, right?
Yep, I got the flags ordered today.
Their kids come and they do the ceremony for taking the flag down, putting the new flag up. So it's pretty neat.
What group is this?
It's the US Naval Sea Cadet Program.
You can all come out and watch me ball my eyes out when they put the flag up, so
Okay.
it's entertaining.
They do the color guard with taps and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Anything else?
No.
Any other comments? Oh, God, no, just slam that gavel down.
Clean up on the cemeteries. I was there like the last Sunday in April, and Jerry's pillow for the Christmas time was still on his grave. Everybody else was cleaned up. Am I supposed to take care of that? Am I responsible?
That
for
is a
that?
good question, because you know, we actually discussed that a while ago, talked about. When did we talk about that? At the cemetery commission.
No, we discussed it on cleanup day.
Well, and cemetery commission too, about what dates should things be removed out of there. And
It's in the ordinance.
well, there you go.
But who's supposed to do it? Am I supposed to make sure that's taken off of his grave or? is-
Not necessarily.
No, it would be nice if everybody could, but no. It's one of those things where if you put something out, you know, let's say for Christmas, you put something special out. You have until a certain date to
Come in and
pick,
take it.
yes, come and take those
Right.
items.
I understand that.
But no, it's not necessarily your job to clean up the Christmas decorations. I'm trying to find it. I can't remember if it was April 1st or May 1st. I wanna say it was April.
I can't remember either. That's been months ago we were talking about.
So would that be like R&R lawn care
I
that
would
would be
think.
taking care of that? Cause I don't know if that's part
What's in your contract with them?
I don't think it specifies anything about that type of cleanup.
Yeah, I think it kind of does.
I don't know, I think
Do the
it's just
deeds
lawn.
include perpetual care anymore in these cemeteries, or that's a thing of the past?
You mean perpetual, you mean for us as a township to do?
Right, you mow, and that's the perpetual care, but spring cleanup and fall is,
Well,
Yes,
we're gonna
no.
look at that contract, and that's a good question.
I understood spring and fall cleanup that he does, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is just literally the leaves, sticks. I was not reading that contract under the assumption that he would be cleaning up grave.
Normally it's the sexton that takes care of that.
yeah.
Um,
And we have no sexton right now?
Okay, we don't. Because everybody else's, there was tiers left, and then there was one big one directly in the back, and that was it.
So
Everybody
Friday,
else's was cleaned up, if they had anything out. And I was just wondering if it's my responsibility, I'd like to know ahead of time.
yeah, I'm gonna say, no, it's not your responsibility. It just should be ours. So let me look into that. We'll
Okay.
get you an answer back on that. I'm taking over the Sexton job because technically,
Yeah, but what if they throw something away that those people wanna keep?
well, no, because we got
In
a
the
ordinance on
ordinance,
that.
it says you have
Yeah.
until a specific date
Yeah.
to pick it up. They won't throw it away until
So-
after that date.
So it says, all refuse of any kind, including but not limited to dried flowers, wreaths, grave blankets, papers, and flowers containers must be removed or deposited in containers which may be located within the cemetery by May 1st and November 1st of each year. So in other words, at the beginning of May, at the beginning of November, that's when the sexton is supposed to go in and
Clean everything up.
clear everything out. So if you have anything in there that you want to keep,
You have to-
remove it for that time. And then you can go put it back afterwards, but you're gonna have to do that.
With the exception of a fresh burial. I thought we gave 30 days.
Yes,
Let's say something happens in October 15th.
right,
You got a
right.
whole 30 days, because you know, it's gonna, after 30 days, it's gonna look a little rough. I'm gonna get with, let's have a little discussion on that tomorrow or next week. I think
Some
we should,
cemeteries post those rules. What
absolutely,
would be wrong with that?
nothing.
I mean, it's an expense, I understand, you'd have to get someone to paint the sign or somebody who's
It'd
artistic.
It would be nice.
I don't write well.
She's going to Alaska.
It would be nice to see where Marvel got their sign. Made, because that is a very nice sign with all of their rules and
None of
expectations.
these ain't so hot, if I remember it right, Tam. It's kind of like some scribbled up things stuffed in the,
I feel like we should probably,
I agree.
take after Marvel. They have a very beautiful
So
cemetery.
we'll look at that, and then next week, let's do something with that.
Yeah.
I agree. No, I totally agree with that. I took it over because technically, a sexton was supposed to be take care of the cemetery, open and closing graves. That's kind of all gone to the thing of the past. You can barely get, well, we got a guy who opens up the graves, does all the digging and everything else. He's good, but he doesn't want to do with all this paperwork stuff. Nobody wants to. London lost theirs. So they hired a person to do it. And they still got the same guy we used to dig the hole. So, it's entertaining.
Maybe we need a secretary, a cemetery secretary to do the paperwork and let the digger do the digging.
That's
Kind
kind
of
of
cemetery digger, call it what you want.
right.
Call him a title.
Kind of
People like
process.
titles, they say. Give a title.
I mean, honestly, we went through some archives back there and it was entertaining to read.
Nick's tabs were interesting tabs. Help him put a title on people.
I'm out of purple stickers.
Is that the shit one?
Good, glad that's it.
Just asking.
You know, it's funny you bring that up and said that real quick and then we'll close this off. The news this morning, guys trying to talk about the weather, what's going on, you got lost. It's like, I just had a brain fart. And I'm like, does the guy just say that live TV? I thought it was pretty funny. I've never heard that before, and then tonight you was like,
Mark, you would do that.
yeah, I know. All right, we all done with comments? We good? I want to call the meeting at 8:58 PM. Oh, make a motion to call the meeting.
I will second that.
All in favor?
No more 12-page agendas.
I know.
Yeah, holy.
We haven't had a 2-hour meeting in like months.
When you go to Alaska?
Oh, in a week or so, I
Oh,
forget,
early.
20 something.
Now we know